Game number 2, everybody. The best of 5 series at the Heroes Battle Arena playoffs continues with Dragonshire as the second map. Dignitas, well, they were schooled in the last map, and that might have been a fluke, it might not have been. Dignitas here with a ban on Falstad immediately on Dragonshire, putting Fnatic in a position where they have to think about also Tyrande and Kael'thas. Which one do you ban out here? Do you just not ban out one of the two, but something completely different and open both of them up for the pickings? Definitely a couple of options that they have here. At Rexa play, I have to admit I like the idea. I like the thought process behind it. You go for the boards, you slow everybody down, you get the guaranteed leap with Sonya, they engage. Pretty nicely done, or at least the thought process behind it, but it didn't really work out for them. Thank you very much, aka Kasasha. Alright, thank you very much for that, bro. Thanks for the support, my friend.
Thank you for that casting marathon. Always a pleasure to watch your stream, smiley face. Greetings from Germany, winking face.
Thanks for that, bro. It's the Gara ban, but yeah, I've been actually thinking about it. I've been casting 32 hours now with 5 hours sleep in between. So we had a bit of a casting marathon for sure. But we have cool games, and this is now an excellent best of 5. Dignitas with the pick on Kael'thas after Zagara was banned out. Zagara, a very popular hero on Dragonshire. In the North American scene, we see her to a priority where she is picked first or banned very early in the match. Not only on Dragonshire, but on nearly all of the maps right now. So Zagara is more or less the Falstad of North America, if you so want. North America doesn't really regard Falstad with the same value as Europe does, but then again, Europe has the same issue with Zagara on most of the maps here. Either way, we have for now the split between Kael'thas and Tyrande again. Dignitas prioritizing Kael'thas over Tyrande in this setup. Fnatic, I would see a Muradin. I could see a Muradin here. I think they should go for a Muradin. He's an excellent hero if you're trying to go for one of those wombo combos. A Tyrande plus Jaina does the trick as well, though. And thinking about it, I mean, even if Dignitas picks now Muradin or ETC, bans out the other one, Fnatic would still have an opportunity to go straight into Diablo for the setup with Tyrande. So going for a Jaina here, not really the worst decision. I mean, from a normal point of view, immediately when you see a Tyrande and you have the next opening, you go like, all right, Muradin, we go for him. But in this case, it makes sense to let the tank go for now, because there's 3 tanks available that can really combo well with Tyrande, and Dignitas can only get rid of 2. Unless they go for a double tank pick, of course. If they drop a Muradin right now and ban out Diablo, that would work for them, and that would put Fnatic in a spot where they can't really combo on that position the way they want to. But Dignitas go for a standard combo at this point with an Uther and ETC, so that kind of works for them. Uther ETC, of course, always a little bit nasty here. It's quite nice if you get that uninterrupted bush bit through. It's not as easy as it oftentimes sounds, at least not if you want to time it perfectly. Kael'thas in the backline for the damage. And Fnatic, when they're talking about bans, I mean, they can really think about banning maybe a Thrall or a Sonya, anything that would combo with Uther as well. It's nice to have that ETC Divine Shield potential, but you can add a bit more on top of that. And Thrall is a very, very often played hero currently in the meta, so we could see a ban on Thrall. We could also see a ban on any kind of other assassin like Sonya, as I already said, and Sonya in this case it is. So Thrall is still open for Dignitas to pick, and Dignitas, they can now think about banning out Muradin. Should probably still ban him. Yes, that would open up Diablo for Fnatic as an opening, but at least you don't have to deal with the dwarf at the front line that just hops away every single time you think you can finally take him down, or starts to stormbolt your face when you're just moving out on the map and you have nothing else on your mind. And especially that Stormbolt and Stormbolt combo is, of course, quite nasty. So Dignitas very likely to ban out one of these tanks, and I suppose it's going to be the Muradin that they are going to get rid of. That would force Fnatic into Diablo if they really want a combo of this position, unless, of course, Dignitas decides that they would rather deal with the Muradin here and not with the Diablo. Other heroes that they could ban out, I suppose, well, actually, like thinking about it, I feel that would definitely be the best option that they have now. Another hero that is always a little bit on my mind as well when we're looking at lineups like this is, of course, Tyrael, thanks to the Sanctification. Dignitas usually wants to pick the hero. It doesn't really ban him out too often, but both of the teams have the option. Diablo is banned out. Dignitas, therefore, saying right there, hey, listen, guys, take the Muradin. We're fine with him. We don't want to go up against Diablo. At least you can dodge the Stormbolt, you know, but once that Diablo charges in, there's basically nothing that you can do about it. You're already in a bad spot, and when he uses a Lightning Breath and later on as well, he has usually a very fair damage output. So Fnatic is going to pick up Muradin to combo this off. With Muradin as a start, they have now also the opportunity to go into a Thrall, I suppose, and if they want to do that, then they could go into, I guess, a Charism. could play a Rhaegar. Rhaegar is very underplayed in Europe right now, and most of the teams don't really rely on him. He has, of course, that ancestral healing that he can use. If we are going for Team Orc here, then he could play together with Thrall and also provide that lightning shield, which gives additional damage, and his healing power is actually quite nice, especially after the tidal waves on level 16. He's played very often on the Chinese server and also on North America. As expected, Thrall is taken, so that would allow for a Rhaegar, it would allow for a Muradin. It's definitely one of those things that you can play with at this point. Takes also Thrall away from Dignitas, which is another very important part at the same time. They banned out Sonya, they pick Thrall, so that works for Fnatic quite nicely. Dignitas, I mean, they have a pretty sweet setup up at the front, but they need a bit more damage behind it. Vala, Reyna would be very good heroes here. Zagara is banned out, but we still have that Sylvanas available. They go for Leoric first of all, which is an interesting touch. Dragonshy is a great map for Leoric. We've seen him in the past here played oftentimes solo. I mean, we all remember how Alex the Pro OG just like spent the entire game away from his team at the top lane and pushed in one fort, one structure after another. So that was the part when Na'Vi was really making their run through Europe. That was pretty impressive. So Leoric is coming back into this as well. He's very popular in other regions too, especially in the Chinese region. He's one of the priority picks that we oftentimes see. Maybe not the highest priority, but he's usually like right up there as one of the second tanks that is being picked in the game. But they still need a bit more damage, and that is where really Reyna, Sylvanas, and Vala are starting to make a bit of a play. Vala would be probably played with an arrow build if you want her. Reyna, on the other hand, Chen! Now, oftentimes we see him against the Zagara as a lane bully on the map, but Dignitas, they really, really know how to drop a hero at the end, don't they? Rexa in the first game, and now in the second game they're going for Chen. I have to admit that I like that. We're going to see the Drunken Panda once again. Mr. Kung Fu Panda himself is going to make his play. Are you ready? I was born ready. And there's now a level 0. So Fnatic, they go into their last pick and they could go Tacita. Yep. Or they could go into another heavy damage dealer, a.k.a. Reyna for the Giant Killer. I would like to see Reyna here. Any kind of hero that has a Giant Killer talent would be great. They go for a Johanna for the full frontline damage. Now that is, I mean, they have on Thrall a Giant Killer as well, depending on which build they use now. But I would have liked to see, I guess, maybe against 3 frontliners, they need another one to really help them out to protect the backline. But Giant Killer on Arena could have been really nice if they can keep him alive. But Jen, of course, jumps into your face, and then you have a big problem there as well. Either way, guys, we're going to have some fun here. Once again, after Rex and the last game, we see Chen now played in game number 2, and this is going to be a good one. This is going to be really nice. We're having some fun games here. Me likey. And let's see, this time Dignitas is hosting. Why do these teams always have to switch who's hosting? There should be a rule against that. It would make my life so much easier. Fnatic has the lead. And no, they don't have 12 map wins. They have 1 map win. Let's not overdo that here. Okay. Second. All right. Okay, so players are coming in. We're missing the second caster, but he should be joining us soon. Yes, there he is. Okay. I get some nice tweets these days. I get some really nice tweets. Okay, this is a little bit of fun. Okay, next game starting up. What I'm looking at. There's so many tabs that I have opened that sometimes it's just like completely lose a track of what I need to look at. But yeah, we're back. We're in. It's all good. It's all good in the hood. And, well, let's check this out. We have our Chen already selected. So, guys, let's get ready for this. Let's get ready for a bit of action here. That Chen play. That Chen that's going to be played now. I might be missing one more. Nope, not quite. Alright. A 1-0 lead for Fnatic now against Dignitas, and well, for me personally this is quite interesting. We had this discussion yesterday where we were talking a bit with like chat. We were discussing like, well, who's the best team in Europe, and I was saying that Fnatic kind of won the battle against Team Liquid in the recent matches that they played, but Na'Vi came in and started to take Fnatic down in most of the official play against that they played. So I said that these three teams are the top three in Europe at this point, and that Na'Vi is probably currently the one that has the best chances of establishing themselves at the top if they continue that level of play. But it's still a close battle. And people were asking, like, what about Dignitas? And I'm like, well, we don't really know because Dignitas doesn't have to play any tournaments right now. And there were a lot of them were saying, like, Dignitas is the best team in Europe. And I'm always a bit careful with, like, statements like this because we haven't really seen them play a lot. It might be that they are the best in Europe. It might be that they just had a fluke in game number 1 and they're going to continue to wreck now Fnatic. But still, we have to take it easy here and see what these guys can actually bring to the table. Not in theory, so in the actual tournament environment. And let's find that out right now on Dragonshire. Game number 2, everybody. Fnatic versus Dignitas. And to the left side of the map, Dignitas with Bakery on Uther, Athero Angel on ETC, JPL on Kalthas, Snitch on Leoric, and Schwimpy on Chen. To the right side of the map, with the 1-0 lead in the best of 5 series, we have Breeze on Johanna, Mena on Jaina, Cypher playing for Shad is playing Thrall, Quacknix on Muradin, and Smexy Style on Tyrande. So, this is going to be an interesting one. The first map definitely didn't work out in favor of Dignitas at all. Fnatic kind of crushed them there. And we've been asking for a long, long time, how good is Dignitas? How good is this lineup? They have amazing players. The two teams that were at BlizzCon kind of merged, and therefore they should be one of the best teams in the European scene right now. And everybody has been saying, like, these guys are the real deal. And they definitely have a set of very talented players now in their midst. But we haven't really seen them play a lot of tournaments lately, because they were already qualified for most of the stuff that is being fought over now. Now, Fnatic with the lead against them in the best of 5, but it was only game number 1. This is a best of 5 series, so let's find out if Dignitas can come back into this, or if Fnatic proves a bit too strong for them to take down. We have for Thrall the Chain Lightning build already started. Now, there's a couple of hybrid builds that you can play with with Thrall in general. There's a very clean and crisp Chain Lightning build where you're trying to go into the Chain Lightning talents on 1, 4, and 16, and that gives you the ability to move on 7 into follow through, and it's always the idea of using Chain Lightning into auto attack, Chain Lightning into auto attack, and just like get a maximum amount of damage out with this. It allows you to go into the spell Shield on level 13, so it's a lot of safety that you have with it as well. But we also have that Wind Fury build that is sometimes played with a level 1 Chain Lightning talent, because some of the players are saying, hey, I'm not going to get a lot of Season Marksman stacks, so Wind Fury is really nice. I'm still relying on Venom on level 4, but I want to make sure that I have a bit of a better mana management thanks to the Rolling Thunder, and so they just go for this talent at the beginning. And on top of that, there's also a third build that's very popular. It's a bit of a hybrid build where you go into 2 of the Chain Lightning talents and then you continue on level 7, 13, and 16 into the Wind Fury talents here on Thrall. Now, we've been talking quite a bit about Thrall, more than I actually intended to, but let's talk about the rest of the team here as well. We have, once again, the Prog Rock taken for ETC, so a bit of self-heal and also heal for the team later on that Groupies comes into play. A lot of talents that rely on stacks of some kind, either the Regeneration Master talent, or instead you are going into Reanimation, for example. We have Mana Addict taken, Chen, by the way, with the Regeneration Master here taken too, and seeing Chen in play is just always awesome as well. So we have the Brewmaster back to business, and he is, of course, super annoying to deal with, and it's just like one of those happy pandas always at the front. Sometimes a little bit silly. That guy just doesn't die. Cypher doesn't even try. He already knows that it's going to be a bit tricky for him. And we have indeed Envenom taken, so it looks like we have a Wind Fury build for him with the adjustment on the level 1 talent, as I already pointed out, Rolling Thunder over the Season Marksman to make sure that you have a bit of a better mana management and are also able to dish out that extra damage. So pretty sweet, well done. Eternal Retaliation for the cooldown reduction on Condemn for Breeze. Could even go into Battle Momentum if he wants to go full ham on that, but on the other hand, there's also Conviction that you can take to get that movement speed, which is pretty cool as well. Talents besides that, pretty much the standard. We're having Pierce taken now. That could lead into a Ranger talent on level 16 for Tyrande, but it also helps you to just like make sure that nobody channels that Dragonite. It's one of the main reasons why you go for level 4 Pierce on this map here in particular. So for now, up to the top lane, we're already seeing this battle between the two. I don't want to call that a melee assassin, like the big fat panda is definitely not a melee assassin there. But yeah, Cypher on his Thrall is going to try to make sure that Chen is not going to get out of control during all of this. We have now with the talents that we see for both teams the attempt to go for the bottom shrine. And this is the one that so far Fnatic has already, Dignitas has been controlling. Nice stun lock attempt and getting Quark, Nyx escape, hop a little Meridian, hop, nope. He does not escape here, at least he's trying. And he hops away, but he gets slammed into the ground. That's the first kill in the game. Muradin is a goner, and therefore the first kill for Dignitas. They have also control over both of the shrines. Up to the top lane, looks like Thrall is now starting to make his way over to the shrine, but Schwimpy is already on it, and it's an easy Dragonite for Thera Angel. Yeah, this is currently Dignitas saying, alright boys, game number 1. We looked a little bit bad, it snowballed against us and we couldn't start a comeback, but here in this game on Dragonshire, our map choice, we are going to make sure we're going to take you down. So for now, they're just moving into the mid lane, starting to take this. We have at the same time on level 7 now Just Keep Rockin' taken for ETC. The bot lane is being pressured hard, and there goes Johanna. Nice. Fnatic loses another hero. The pressure play from Dignitas, they really go for it. We have Ghastly Reach taken for Leoric again, and we also see the Brewmaster's balance after Amplified Healing. Now the combo between Amplified Healing and Regeneration Master is always amazing, since the two talents, they actually work together. So you get a lot of regeneration towards the later stages of the game. And it's not like Chen really needs a whole lot of regeneration. He also has so much lane sustain, thanks to his trait alone, that if he gets that talent and a lot of stacks, he's just nearly unbeatable in a one-on-one. Sypho has already experienced that, more or less. He was very low and needed to well up. We have him indeed with a follow-through now taken. Now this is a little bit of a surprise to me. I mean, if you go for the Chain Lightning build, then you usually also add the level 4 talent, which gives you additional 2 hits. So we have a bit more, well, you have more wave clear, I suppose. I guess Envenom can be taken. You don't necessarily have to go for the level 4 talent for the Chain Lightning. It's not really that it affects follow-through, but it's the usual clean, crisp build that we have. So it's another bit of a hybrid setup that Sypho is going for here. The level 4 talent, as I said, not necessarily a must-have. If you want to go into the follow-through build though, then normally we still have the level 16 talent because it gives you a second charge on the Chain Lightning, and of course that's something that procs also then the extra damage on your next order attack. Here comes the Panda attack, and this time Schwimpy is not going to get away. Sypho fed up with the Panda up at the top lane and just like, guys, I need a little bit of help. Please send someone over and help me out here, and they indeed did. Level 10 abilities are still faster though for Team Dignitas, since they were in a position where they could drop the entire wall down here already. With that earlier Dragonite that they had, they are now in possession of not only Moshpit and Divine Shield as a combo, but also the Entomb and Storm, Earth and Fire. So with Leoric, they're playing more North American or like Chinese meta now. Entomb to isolate soul heroes. It kind of works well. You can really go for Entomb. The one reason, or the one it's like instrument I don't really like Entomb too much, is when you are a solo tank for your team and there's no double support to protect you. Because then the March of the Black King gives you a bit more sustain in the team fights, and it's something that you desperately need. Leoric has of course the big bonus that he's going to be back very soon after he dies, thanks to his reanimation and also the trait in general. But still, if you're the only tank for your team, then going for March of the Black King is usually a bit better. But especially on the Chinese scene and in North America, Entomb is very, very popular. And in this setup, you're having also 3 frontliners, so there's no real reason to necessarily go for the March of the Black King, if all that you want to do is isolate a target and make sure that you can go for the attack here. So I like the talent choices. We have also level 10s now already on the side of Fnatic with the Blessed Shield, Water Elemental, Sundering, also the Avatar, plus the additional Tyrande ult with the Shadow Stalk. Sypho is in a bit of trouble here. The fight down here continues as well. Thrall is still on the run. Wow, he's really juking them out. He's not going to escape though. I mean, there's way too many opponents. He's going to fall in the end. But down at the bot lane, we have Fnatic now with another Shrine control. They're going straight with Smexy style for the Shrine, trying to take this one at least. They can't go for the Dragonites though, since Chen, the big fat panda, is already up at the top, taking another Shrine out too. 3 kills against 1 in favor of Dignitas. Definitely a much tougher game that we're seeing now for Fnatic compared to what happened in game number 1 on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Thera Angel is starting to move in. Here comes the rotation. Bakery's on the way. There's the Entomb, and ETC uses it for Moshpit, but before the Divine Shield hits, he is already zoned out. It's not as easy as it looks, guys. In this case, it showcases once again that you can miss that combo. And we have the kill potentially against Quarknix, and yep, he's annihilated. 4 kills against 1 as Mirrodin is down. ETC had an opportunity here. He survives though, which is really important there. It was actually like a fun one. We had ETC dropped, well, into ETC more. First of all, we had like the engage with the Entomb, so ETC was trapped with an opponent's hero. ETC and Leoric, of course, at the same time. Then he used that opportunity to just like lead straight into the mosh pit. It was actually kind of fun to see that. Now, on the other hand, it could be another Dragonite, but it's not quite one because we have at the top lane Shrimpy and Cypher fighting again for that shrine. And the battle is won already by Thrall. But now with a level 13 talent, we could see Chen move in again. He's now Relentless in a position where he definitely doesn't take that much damage, or not that much CC from the Spirit Wolf in particular. The biggest problem for Fnatic at this point is really that we have on level 13 also, of course, the Chain Bomb for Kalthus. That's one of the main reasons why you go into the hero in the first place. There's also groupies now taken after the Just Keep Rocking and the proc rock, so ETC is just going to combo with all of that sustain for his team. And we are seeing next to that the Shrink Ray for Uther. It's going to make the time of Thrall a lot harder, making sure that he is not going to be able to just like rush in, build up that momentum and take heroes down. Down to the bottom of the map, we have Bakery, Athera Angel, and JPL. They're starting the rotation now too, and they already move in, try to drop that fort at the bot lane. Camps are taken, level 13 talent ready for the team in red. And there we have the Icy Veins with the mana, with the cooldown reduction for Jaina. In comes ETC, Breeze with the Condemn. They're starting to move in. Overflowing Light has now been claimed, and they are attempting to go straight for the potential kill again. Breeze on the move, but yeah, camp has been taken by the blue team, and now both of the shrines are under their control, which forces Cypher in the middle just to wait if somebody is trying to channel the dragon statue. Down to the bot lane, Bakery and Snitch, they're trying to protect the temple for as long as they can. ETC is moving in the middle. Athera Angel, on the other hand, is zoned out, and Shrimpy is now saying, hello Sailor, how are you doing? And they are moving in from every angle, trying to drop Thrall. Shrink Ray used, and yeah, Sundering trying to get him away from this one. Already JPL moving in. There's the Phoenix used. 14 versus 13 levels. And they are starting to move in. Nice gravity lapse against Mirrodin. And Fnatic is really desperately trying to somehow interrupt it. That's the owl that hits, but that's already it. And this will be a Dragonite. There we have it. Dragonite number 2 in favor of Team Fnatic. They move into the middle of the map once again, making sure that they get their kills in. Already Chen at the top lane, soaking even more experience. And we see a very different game from what happened in the first map. So now 4 kills against 1, and Dignitas is really just showing now Fnatic that it's not as easy to take them down as it was in game number 1. That it was just a bit of a mistake there, a bit of a fluke, but the game isn't over yet. Phoenix already used, they're starting to move in. Chen is doing Chen things at the top lane, basically growing the rest of the map and saying, hey, I'm going to get a bit of experience, I'm going to make sure that we push this in. Level 16 would of course be great for them. Snitch is about to be dropped, moves away with a Wraith Walk and gets a shield in the last second. Protective shield used, and level 16 talents are now ready. Benediction once again here for Uther. The Athera Angel is still around for another 18 seconds on the Dragonite. Also Arcane Barrier plus Echo Paddle. Top lane nearly pressured down, but ETC or Chen is moving into the mid lane right now. ETC, of course, is still present as well, moving in with a Dragonite statue. And after Relentless, we have now the pressure point taken for Chen. We also see a renewed swing for Leoric, and they move in again with a nice Entomb. They go for Breeze. He's trying to get away there. Johanna in trouble. Pressure point used. In comes Chen, and the slide on ETC. Sundering is too late. The stun hits from Tyrande, but this is not enough to drop a target, and we already are in a 5 versus 4 situation with level 16 talents as an advantage for Dignitas. They're looking extremely solid here, and they're moving in again to drop not only the wall, but maybe even go for more. Can they take the keep? Doesn't feel like it. Shrimpy and the rest of them are retreating now. They have still a lead here, 2 levels ahead, but they do not want to engage too much and overextend. It's a pretty fun game, actually. I mean, considering how the last map went, this one is an exciting one. It looks completely different. So Dignitas definitely showing their skills now. It's something that they couldn't do in the last map with all those web weavers that were pushing against them on Tomb of the Spider Queen. They never really got into a position where they could start a comeback. Leoric is dying though, so Snitch has to be careful with this one. He's trying to slow everybody down so that the rest of the team can move away here. And it looks actually like he will be able to do that. As we see Uther in trouble. That was a nice stun into stun, Divine Shield used. That leaves Athera Angel maybe a bit exposed, but they already rotate away. Level 16 talents will soon be ready for Fnatic, and that of course means fights on even talents again. Therefore, you have an opportunity to really get all the damage in. Top lane pressure as Chen is taking over the lane again, and he already put a solid amount of work into the entire lane. He took down the well, he took down half of the hit points, a couple of the hit points on the fort itself, and he is soon going to do the exact same thing again if they leave him to it, which doesn't really happen as the rotation from of Fnatic is already approaching. Yeah, Giant Killer chosen and the Tempest Fury as the talents here on Thrall. So a bit of a hybrid build as we already surmised earlier. It's interesting to me personally that we do not see the level 16 talent. If you really want to go for a follow-through build, then that level 16 talent would be quite nice since you have the second stack, of course, on the Chain Lightning. And that's pretty awesome since you will have another damage bonus for another auto attack. So it's really a very different way to play Thrall right now. And this is pretty cool. I mean, the talent system is really working well with Thrall. The diversity of builds that we have seen over the last 3 days is amazing. You look at China, you look at North America, you look at Europe, and you see at least 6 different builds on the hero. And all of them can, of course, well, you can make strong arguments for all of them. Thrall again with the Sundering being used. Ranger talent taken on Tyrande, by the way. They're moving in Blessed Hammer even for Johanna, and they are trying to use all of these AoE talents as we speak. Go straight in against the attack for Dignitas. Dignitas with an Entomb against Breeze though, and Johanna is not going to make it here. Could be that we're also seeing Muradin die. He tries to jump out, gets away, and in the last second also uses the stone form. But that was another great kill here in favor of Dignitas. And guess what? They move into the middle of the map for another Dragonite. Does Tyrande have the owl? She doesn't. Wouldn't have made a difference anyways. Nobody. Oh, actually, we saw Thrall rotate to the top. So maybe if that owl hits in time, they get a chance to take that shrine. As is, though, we have now the Dragonite in the middle of the map. And that, of course, is the end of keep number 1. Is it going to be the end of the game? That's a different question. I don't really think it will be, but it could of course happen if there's another hero or 2 dying now to these traps that we are seeing from Dignitas. 2 seconds on the Entomb, we all know what that means. Once the Auric is able to really drop those Entombs again, we might see another kill. Keep number 2 is already annihilated. And level 20 talents are very close. Here comes the attack. Already the gravity lapse used. Oh, Leoric is about to fall. Wraith walks away, gets healed. Nice move by Bakery, using that benediction for the double heal. And we have Sypho now also on the move back. Quacknix is also low. Mene is trapped, drops the Blizzard, but he himself is going to die. And this is the end of him. And now with a kill against Smaxy, Tyrande is now also dropped, and it looks like Ethereal Angel is going to take the opportunity to try and finish the game with the Dragonite. Yep, there's the kill against Thrall himself, and Johanna is also dead. This is going to be GG, and the 1-1 in the best of 5 series here at the Heroes Battle Arena between Dignitas and Fnatic. Great play now by Team Dignitas, much better than the first game. Spectral Leech for Leoric here as well. Double Bolt of the Storm on 20, and this is the victory on Dragonshire for Team Dignitas. GG and well played.